guess what? This is a world first, a world exclusive, part one of the BMW M1000r 2023 versus the Aprilia Tuono V4 Factory 2022. Check it. Check it. Now, unfortunately, I've lost my chamois. So I've given these two bikes a bit of a shower, but they haven't been able to dry themselves. So, it's a pretty crappy day too. So that's a bit of a shame. Anyway, here you go. Part one. The aesthetics. The aesthetics of these bikes. Look at them both. Very different looking motorcycles. In fact, the Aprilia looks large next to the BMW, and I can tell you, when the Aprilia was next to the R, it looked small. So if you put a R there, it's going to look bigger again, much bigger again, which shows you the Beamer is a small bike. It's tiny actually. Very different looking. The Tuono actually looks more like a sports bike than a naked bike up front because of the fairing in the front. Whereas the BMW looks more naked, although those wings give it something completely different again. But very, very different looking bikes. And I can tell you the Aprilia, and we'll do the ride review later, but that fairing at the front does add a lot of stability and also wind protection. So it's kind of only half naked, really, whereas the Beamer is fully naked. Let's get the rear view. They've got that wet post-shower look, haven't they? Eh? Here's the rear view of these behemoths. And again, the Aprilia does look more substantial. Those side sort of wingy ferrying thingies on the Aprilia do add a bit of girth, although the Beamer still looks pretty sick. It's the Darth Vader of the two. Obviously the red wheels on the Tuono do stand out, and it looks a bit taller too. That's your rear view. I do like that rear cowling on the Tuono, I have to say. That is a pretty cool looking rear cowling compared to the Beamer. They're very different looking bikes. The subframe sort of stands out again on the Tuono because it's colouring. But the Beamer just looks evil and menacing. So you've got kind of shiny bling versus evil and menacing with just the right amount of bling. And don't those two exhausts look great? The SC Project just fitted. And the Aprilia probably looks slightly plainer on the non-exhaust side. The Beamer looks awesome. Riding the Aprilia, you get a heck of a lot of heads turned and reactions from motorcyclists, that's for sure. It's too early to tell on the Beamer. I get a lot of heads turned on that too, but I've only done a couple hundred Ks on it. But there you have it. Now let's look at the riding position. So let's get on the Beamer first. Again, for a naked bike, reasonably aggressive. These bars are wider, and you are a wee way forward. The risers, though, I think that I've installed in this bike make it far more comfortable. The tuck is not entirely dissimilar to that of the sports bike. Maybe your legs are a little more forward, so you're fractionally more upright. But it's a comfortable position, quite sporty, and you feel the lack of fairing and substance at the front on this bike, being more of a traditional naked. Yeah, fairly sporty. My shoulders are a fair way forward. There's a fair bit of weight on my wrists, but not crazy. Let's now jump on the Aprilia. Direct comparison. Okay, so straight away the first thing you notice is you are more on top of the bike than in it. On the BMW, you sort of fit in there and you feel like you're slightly lower and in the bike. This you feel slightly more on top of it, and that fairing is obviously substantial. So you have the feeling of a sports bike actually, And in terms of leg position, you are not quite as tucked as you were on the BMW. It's very similar, but slightly more relaxed on this. But I have installed some aftermarket pegs on this. I've got the risers on here as well. You're not quite as wide on the bars, and you're slightly less forward. So this is a slightly less aggressive, only just slightly less aggressive riding position. So slightly less aggressive, a bit more substantial up here, slightly more comfortable down here. So this is more of a, probably more of a traditional naked riding position, slightly more relaxed. But we're talking, I reckon, 5-10% difference. That's it. Now let's hear them. I've just had the SC Project exhaust, and here we go. Here we go. This is also a great TFT, by the way. I actually reckon I prefer it. I think this is my favourite TFT of all bikes. It's awesome. More on that later. Here we go. Not even close. Not even close on the sound department. That is so good. Not even close. Well, that's kind of actually convinced me. I think I need a full system in the Beamer. Yeah, I think I'm going to need a full system. Anyway, look, that's part one of the Aprilia versus BMW review. We're going to go riding back to back once this thing's unlocked, and I'm going with a mate of mine for a day trip, and we're going to do a proper review of these two bikes side by side for the riding experience. But for now, see you later.